Julia at Aikido Santa Barbara. Senpai Julia, do you want to bow us in, please?
Yes. So before I start, I just want to, yes, my name's Julia. This is my home dojo. So you can't see it, but I've actually marked out a space about the size that you are able to work with. So I will try to stay within the parameters that are easy to work with you. Of course, if you can't do some of the things we're doing, that's completely fine. I would like to say just a special thank you to Sensei Chris and Sensei Arturo for helping me prepare for this class. And yeah, let's get started. Onegaishimasu. So let's spread our legs apart like this and reach for our toes and reach with our other hand above our head. And on the other side, reach for our toes and our other hand goes above our head. Now try to reach for both toes. If you can't, just grab your ankles. Now put your hands behind your back and just push up. You should feel a stretch like in your right here. Make sure to keep your back straight and your toes pointed up towards the sky. Now reach up and lean forward. Reach for that piece of candy that's just out of reach. Okay, now let's bring our legs together and shake them out. And cross your right leg over your left and take your left hand and grab your toes and just move your foot in a circle. And the other way. Now wiggle your toes. Massage the bottom of your foot with your thumbs. Rub it out and clap all the way up your leg. And then you can shake it out, cradle your foot, and grab your toes and put it back. And now let's do the same thing on the other side. So roll your foot, keeping your right foot pointed up towards the sky. And the other way. Wiggle your toes. Massage the bottom of your foot. Rub your foot. And clap it out all the way up your leg and back down. Shake out your foot. And cradle it. And grab your toes and put it down. Okay, then reach for your toes. Again, if you can't reach, grab your ankles. Now we're going to bring our feet in towards us and sit in butterfly position and just push your weight down on your knees not to hurt yourself, but just to get a nice stretch. And then grab your feet, try to touch your head to your toes. Okay. And now make sure that you have room around you, that you're not going to knock over a vase or put your foot through the TV. And just roll to one side and just keep rolling until you get back to center. And then once you get back to center, roll the other way. Good. So then we want to cross our feet with our left foot in front and stretch for that piece of candy again. And then switch your feet so your right leg's in front and stretch for that piece of candy. So now we're going to move up onto our knees. And we're going to do some wrist stretches. So you're going to drop your hand and let it hang. And then use your other hand and grab it and just move up and down. And then on the other side, let your hand hang, then take your other hand and grab it and move up and down. And now back to our right hand. We want to let it hang down, and then we want to point it away from us as we take our other hand, thumb up, and grab it around and move in a circle. And then we want to do it on our other side, so let it hang down, point it away from you so that your thumb is down, and then take your other hand, thumb up, and grab and move it in a circle. Okay, now we want to take our right hand, palm facing away from us, with our thumb down towards the floor. And then we want to take like a claw and grab it and push it out and stretch. And on the other side. Okay, now let's touch our thumb to our nose, wiggle your fingers, then flip it around and touch your pinky to your nose. And then you want to grab your four fingers right around the base of your thumb, and your thumb wants to go right in between the knuckles, between your ring finger and your pinky finger. And then just move it up and down. And then we want to do it on the other side. So touch your thumb to your nose, wiggle your fingers, then flip it around and touch your pinky to your nose. And then put your thumb in between your ring finger and your pinky finger and wrap your other fingers around the base of your thumb and move up and down. And then finally, let's put our palm up and grab our fingers with our other hand and bend it towards the mat. So palm up, grab the tips of your fingers and bend it towards the mat. Okay, now let's do some neck stretches. So let's just go from side to side. Then let's go up and down. In circles. The other way. Write your name. Okay, so now we want to sit with our butt in between our heels like this and just lean back as far as you can. Okay, and then come back up to Seiza. And then you want to tuck your toes and lift one knee up and lift the other knee up and just balance. Then put one knee down and put the other knee down and untuck your toes. Then tuck your toes and bring both knees up and just balance. And if you fall over, it's okay, just get back up. And put your knees down. Now let's reach for that piece of candy again. Just out of reach, keep stretching. And back up into Seiza. Okay, so now let's do some animals. So start at one side of your space. And so first we want to do bear. So you want to get on your hands and feet. And you just want to walk like a bear and move your hips back and forth as you make your way across your space. And then once you reach one side, you can go back. Okay, so once you reach your other side again, now we want to do dog, which is similar to bear, but instead of moving all of our limbs separately, we move our hands together and our feet together. So hands, feet, hands, feet, hands, feet, hands, feet. Okay, and once you get to one side, you can go back. Okay, so now let's do desert lizard. So to do desert lizard, we want to get into our bear position and then just walk our hands forward a bit so that we look a little bit like a lizard. And then just take 3 steps. And then you want to do 3 push-ups. Not little head bobs, but let's bend our arms. And then 3 steps. Once you get to one side, just turn around and keep going. And 3 push-ups. Okay, once you get back to one side, let's do frog. So frog, we want to tuck our toes and have our hands just right in front of us, not leaning on them, as we jump in tiny hops across our space. And then once you reach one side, you can go back. Okay. Once you're done with frog, let's do bunny, which is similar to frog, but since bunnies have ears, instead of having our hands over here, we want to make little ears for our bunny as we hop across the room. And then once you reach one side, go back. Okay. So once you are back at where you started, let's do our final animal, which is fat penguin. So we want to stand up and get down into a horse stance as we hold our arms around us. And we just waddle from one side to the other. And then once you get to one side, you can go back. Okay, now let's do high knees. So we want to touch the opposite hand to the opposite knee. So we want to touch our left hand to our right knee. And then we can step, and then right hand to our left knee, and step, 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 and step. And then we can turn around and go back the other way. And once you are back where you started, we can go backwards and touch our hand to our foot. So you want your right hand to touch your left foot as you walk backwards. And then turn around and go back. Okay, so once you reach one side, we can stop as we get into a stance. So to get into a stance, if we start with our feet together, we take one big step forward, and then we turn the foot that's behind us so that it's perpendicular to the foot that's in front of us. And so that then, if we slide our front foot back, it makes a T, right? So we want our front foot bent and our back foot straight as we stand in a stance. The other thing is that you want to keep your hands out in front of you and imagine you're holding a giant ball of energy out in front of you. Okay, so I'm going to start at one side, and I'm in right hominy, so my right foot is forward, and I'm holding my ball of energy as I take a step forward, and now my old front foot is now my back foot, and then I take another step forward, and a step forward is called an irimi. So irimi and irimi. So then once you reach one side, we have to turn around. So you want to kaiten or pivot. So to do that, you want to turn your foot so that they're facing the same direction. And then you want to turn your back foot so that you're now facing the direction you want to face. Then we can irimi back. So irimi, 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 and irimi. Now let's do tencon, tenshin. So tenshin is stepping back. So to step back, we just bring our front foot and bring it behind us and turn our new front foot to face forward. Tenshin, tenshin, and tenshin. Okay, now let's do tenkon, which is a kaiten and then a tenshin. So kaiten, tenshin. Kaiten, tenshin. Okay, now tenkon and tenkon and tenkon. And now let's do an irimi tenkon. So we want to step forward, pivot, and step back, right? So step forward, pivot, and step back. Okay, so now let's put this into practice. So I am going to be demonstrating with my dad. Many of you won't have partners, so then I will go ahead and do a ghost technique with you all. So first we want to do I hominy Ikkyo. So I'm going to get into left hominy and extend my arm out, and we don't want our other arm at a noodle at our side, so we keep it in front of us. And then we want to do our big circle as we grab our partner's elbow and we bring it down in front of us and step in and out and bring them down into a pin. Okay, so now let's do it on the right side. So we want to make a big circle and grab our partner's elbow and bring it down right in front of our center and step in and out and bring it down. Okay, so now let's do it ghost techniques. In a ghost technique, so let's start with our left foot forward and extend our left arm and keep our right arm lively as we do our big circle and grab our partner's arm and bring it down in front of us, right in front of our center, step in and step out, and then kneel down for the pin. And for now, just pin the arm or the imaginary arm on the floor. Okay, so now let's do it from left or right hominy, sorry. So we want to make our big circle and grab our partner's arm and step in and step out and kneel down and pin the arm. Okay, and let's do it 2 more times. So let's get into right hominy again. And let's extend our arms and do a big circle and grab our partner's arm and bring it down in front of us and step in and out and kneel down. And when you do a pin, you want to make sure that your toes stay tucked, because if they aren't tucked, then it's harder to get back up. Okay, so now let's do it one more time on our left side. So extend our left arm, do our big circle as we slide in and grab our partner's arm and bring it down to our center. Step in, step out, and kneel down with our pin. Okay, so now that was in I hominy. So now what if they grab you in Gyaku hominy, where we might be in right hominy, but they are in left. So if we start in left hominy and they grab us in right hominy, then first we have to step back and then grab their wrist like this and do our big circle and bring them down in front of us. And we step in and we step out and we bring it down. Okay, so then let's do it in right hominy, or our other side. So we can't do our circle, right? Because we can't really go like that. So we step back, grab their wrist with our other hand, and do our circle now as we step in and step out. Okay, so now let's do it with the ghost technique. So let's get into left hominy and extend our arm as they grab us in right hominy. We step back and grab their wrist, and then we step in and do our circle and bring it down to our center.
That's for your car.
Then we step out and kneel down. Okay, so let's do it on our other side. So that was our left side, so let's do it on our right. So we can't do our circle, so we step back, grab their wrist, and do our big circle, grabbing their arm and bringing it down in front of us. And I step in while I do the circle, and then you step out and you kneel down with the pin. So let's do that 2 more times. So let's start in right hominy, and they grab us in left, so we step back and grab their wrist. As we step in, we do our big circle, and then their arm is right at our center, and then we step out, and then you can step back in, but I like to kneel down here. Making sure that our toes are always tucked for the pin. Okay, and then one more time on the left side. So they grab us, we step back and grab their wrist as we do our big circle and step in and step out and kneel down with our toes tucked. Okay, so now let's do another one. So let's do Sumio Toshi. And so instead of a pin, this is a throw. So let's start in left hominy and make sure both of our arms are alive. So we want to slide off the line and take this arm out as we punch with this arm to make sure that they just stay out of our way. And then we put our hand in their elbow as we push them back and they go for a roll. So let's do it on the other side. So we extend them and then we take this arm and we punch so that they stay back and we step forward as we throw. Okay, so now let's do it in a ghost technique. So let's start in left hominy with both our hands active as we slide out and we punch them to make sure that they stay back. Then we can take that hand and push as we step forward and they will go for a roll. Let's do it on our left side. So we do the punch as we do our slide. So we do this all together and then we take the hand that punched and push our partner into a roll. Okay, let's do it a few more times. So if our partner grabs our left arm, we want to bring it out and punch, and then step in and push. Okay, and then on the left side, we want to step out and punch, and then step forward and push. And let's do it 2 more times. So if we're in left hominy, step out and do your punch, and then step forward as you push on their elbow. Okay? And finally, let's do it on our right side. So step out as we do our punch, and then push them back as they do a roll. Okay, so finally, let's do that 2 more times first, just to make sure that we keep our arms lively and that we can do everything as one motion. So let's do it a little quicker. So do this and step forward. So let's simplify it to step 1 and step 2. So step 1 is the punch as well as getting them into the back bend. And step 2 is the throw. So the goal of this one is when we bring them out like this and we punch them, we now have their balance as they do a back bend and they're off balance. So that is what makes the throw work, because then we can step through and they will roll. Okay, so now because we've been throwing, let's just, since we can't really do the other side of the ukemi, let's just do some small backward rolls. If you don't have space, that's completely fine. You can just roll on your back and roll back up. But starting at one side, let's roll back and roll up. So to roll back, in case you don't know, we want one foot up and the other, we want our toes tucked behind us. And we can actually start like this. So if we start cross-legged, we want to put one foot up as we roll back. Okay, it's a little harder to do it this way, in my opinion, but we want to throw our weight backwards and make sure that we just stay in a nice little ball as we roll. Right, so let's do that a few more times. Again, if you don't have the space, just roll back. You can switch your feet and roll back forward. So, but if you do have the space, it's always nice to do some ukami. So let's walk through it again. So I like to start up on my knee with my toes tucked behind me, and I just roll backwards and just throw my weight back a bit as I roll to give me momentum. So let's do this a few more times. Okay, so now let's do some ghost sitting Cocaidosa. So I'll demonstrate what it should look like with a partner first. So if we, or not, so if we want to extend our arms out and I like to keep my toes tucked and pretend you're just holding a pie as you shift your weight back and you put the pie in your partner's face, right? So let's just do that. So we shift back and put the pie in your partner's face, and then open one leg and your partner is down like this. Okay, so if we want to do it from this angle, your partner will grab you on both wrists and you want to shift back, put the pie in their face, and then open one knee as they roll and move in for a pin. Right, so this is what it should look like with a partner. Is if I extend my hands, he's gonna grab both of them, and I'm gonna put my pie in his face and open one knee, and he's gonna roll. Then we wanna step in and pin. So then on the other side, we want to shift our weight back, open one knee, roll, and pin. And okay, so now let's do it a bit more. So keep our toes tucked as we extend our arms. We shift back and put the pie in their face, open our knee, and go for the pin. And then if you're looking at where your knee should be as you pin, you want the knee closest to your partner, basically up against their armpit, and then you want your other knee up against their arm. So let's do that a few more times. So back, put the pie in their face, open a knee, and step in and just pin. Okay, and then we can do it on the other side. So put the pie in their face, open one knee, and pin. So I haven't tried this before, but we could try to do it from as if we were taking the ukemi. So let's try to grab our partner's wrists. As they put the pie in our face, our elbows would go up. And then we also need to open a leg or our knee as we go to do our ukemi. And then they would pin. So this is a little difficult if you haven't ever done the technique before. But it's a nice exercise just to get to know the technique. So grab your partner's wrists. As they put the pie in your face, your elbows will go up, and then open a knee as you roll and they do the pin. Okay, and let's do this. You can switch out whether you do the nage or the uke, and they bring your elbows up and roll. Okay, and so now let's switch back to being nage. So we shift our weight as we put the pie in their face, open our knee as we pin. All right, so we shift back, put the pie in their face, and open our knee as they roll, and then we pin. So there's the bell, and I believe there are some announcements.
Hi, we've got a few announcements. Thank you so much for teaching a wonderful class, Senpai. The first announcement is that there is a kids class. The next USAF kids class is coming up on January 20th with Ralph Lignini from Aikido of Woodstock. And then the other announcement that we have is for Senpai Julia, Chris Sensei and myself, I am just so completely proud of you. That was a really great class. It's been a pleasure to have you as a student. You're my former student now. You started back when you were 4 years old, and you continue to be amazing. Sensei Chris?
Julia, I'm so proud of you. That was an amazing class. And for everyone watching, Julia is better than all of us. She will be running Aikido of Santa Barbara very soon. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you.
Thank you. Senpai, would you bow us out, please?
Of course. Domo arigatou gozaimashita.
It's over.
Oh, arigatou gozaimashita.
Arigatou gozaimashita.
It's over. Say thank you.
Well done. Really well done.